don't leave, I believe you deserve that president.
Or maybe perhaps suspend him or throw him out of UPA for advocating stuff that is that is against official position of the UDA party.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Everybody, I mean, he's just said that he's got the right and the freedom to push whatever opinion that he has, which is right in a sense, because we are all guaranteed, again, going back to chapter 4 of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, freedom of thought and opinions as well. So you cannot control him or constrict him. He has a right to his opinion and suggestion, like everybody else. But this is interesting stuff, because it goes back to something we talked about a while back, and I told you, from the way these things are going, always listen to the deputy president. If you want to know the position of government,
yes,
listen to the deputy president keenly. I know we are fond of dismissing him offhand, that sometimes he says things that probably he doesn't understand. But the truth of the matter is, the bipartisan talks were doomed or have been structured to fail. And the reason I'm saying that is because of exactly what is going on with Cherargei today. You've talked about Fafi MP. Fafi MP makes an even bolder proposal, which is to remove term limits,
yes,
one, and then put a cap on the retirement age of the president at 75. Very interesting stuff. Yes,
it's
exactly.
Really interesting.
So now the question becomes, are we willing as Kenyans to even have that conversation? Because people are going for the jugular for Cherargei, but Fafi MP has proposed that we remove term limits and put the cap at 75 years of age. Take time to digest that. So you can imagine, that is a no-no. I mean, as Kenyans, we've said clearly from the beginning that we want term limits. We put it in the Constitution for obvious reasons. That you get for the first term, and then a second one if you perform well. Yes. Of course, that is a decision of the electorate. But we're always going to end up here. I remember us having a conversation a few weeks ago, and I told you that the way these talks are going, this is basically a rope that has been handed to the opposition to hang themselves. I hope now you can start seeing what's going on.
I still haven't, John. You really have to prove it.
Yes. Yeah. So this is one of the suggestions. And remember, Cherargei has every right to propose whatever he's saying. Remember, at the beginning of the talks, or when there was that push and pull between the protagonists, both the Azimio on the one hand and Kenya Kwanza on the other, there was a conversation around how do we structure these talks so that we can, you see, when you have an endless agenda, you end up with this unwieldy thing that becomes difficult for anybody to control. So remember, Kenya Kwanza came with 5 agendas that they wanted to be looked at, and I think the same with Azimio. But Azimio went further and said, why not allow anybody and everybody to bring their proposals? We allow Kenyans to make proposals as to what they desire or would like to see change.
Yes.
So that in itself opened up this situation that we are in now, that we are going to get all sorts of wild proposals and suggestions that will actually take us away from what was initially envisaged.